Tony's Garage from sunny Surrey. Today we're going to be doing the practicalities of driving a 348 every day. Fear not, using a 348 as a daily driver doesn't need to end up with such desperate measures. The main thing is storing it in a dry place. Putting miles on it, for the most part, is actually a good thing. The engine out service comes around every 3 to 5 years, regardless of mileage. Okay, see ya. Yeah, I decided to get into something a bit more fitting for Ferrari ownership. Starting with misty windows. See, if you look, the AC is not coming on, so either it's down to low voltage, or I'm told it's moisture, so a little bit counterproductive. I can't use the demister, so the window's got to be open, and it's pretty damn cold in here. See, look, I can barely see a thing now. Oh, it's starting to clear. Now with the window down a little bit more. If you see me trying to get out of this turning, how much I've got to turn the steering wheel, no power steering, and a terrible turning circle. Often you'll see me coming out in a Tesco's and I have to cross the other side of the road to even be able to get out of my parking bay. So people sometimes shake their head. See this shop over here? This I've seen many Ferrari owners I've bumped into in there. See, getting in is just fine, but coming out is where the problem is. I used to use this car park every day and often would have an audience when having to kiss the tarmac on the ramp. This is down to the long overhang of the bumper rather than the actual the lowness of the car. You often get lots of looks and comments from people, so that's more of a neutral one. So the other thing with these older Ferraris is the lack of headroom. Me being around 6 foot, my having a longer body than legs, this is where the lack of headroom comes in. Another impracticality is being able to reach the ticket machine. I'll demonstrate this. First you've got to wait a minute or two for the window to get down far enough. Come on. There we go, that's better. In the end. So let's see if the auto number plate recognition works as I come out. Fingers crossed I don't have to open this window again. I've noticed when it's wet, it does seem to work a bit smoother. So I think even now it's having one use, it seems to sped up a little bit. I think it's just getting it moving again, really. Oh no, it did work. Didn't even need to do that. The problem with driving a Ferrari is that people automatically think you're a douchebag when you go through a drive-through. Get a chicken mayo, please.
One chicken mayo.
And a side order of douchebag.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Cheers. Another difficulty is getting out the car in a graceful way. The doors are about a foot wide, so it's a bit of a squeeze getting out. Luckily there's just a hedge there rather than the car next to me. Okay, so yeah, the other problem with it being wet is you look at all the alloys get dirty from the rain dripping on it. And then the shape of the car with these kind of 80s cheese grater grills. Look at all that water and dirt collecting in there. Also with these kind of Targa roofs, they can leak. The seals, it's better on the driver's side, but this one in heavy downpours it can leak. Also the engine bays with these older cars it's open to the elements. The more modern cars are all sealed off, but yeah, if that's just wet all the time, then it doesn't get a chance to dry out. To summarise, today there's been steamy windows, bad turning circle, no power steering, temperamental windows, hard to reach out of, a long bumper overhang, and requiring dry storage. That's a big one. I mean, the only real kind of positive thing is the decent boot space. If you compare it to a 911, it's definitely more usable in that regard. Yeah, and so to cap it off, the other thing that can be expensive is obviously the maintenance. So looking through my trusty Ferrari folders, yeah, so when I first collected the car there a few months before, they'd done a major service that was 3,800. Then there's a few things that I pointed out before I got it, and that was another 600. This is about approaching 4 years ago now that I bought the car, and then straight after I bought it, there's a few things that was nearly 400. I think that was stuff to do with the cat overheating. Then else, I think there's a one missing. I think that was just a couple of hundred or £300 where I nearly spun the car when I first got it and just ground out on the curb. So but that's not in here for whatever reason. Yeah, I had another 760. That was to do with wiring in the going into the door. The loom had gone, and then the passenger motor, window motor had gone. Then yeah, there's a big one here, 3,600, which partly down to me where the alarm went funny. I think the key did to the ignition, but the alarm I think was possibly down to me leaving it with the roof off overnight every now and then, maybe when I've had a drink or something, and yeah, so any moisture getting in there is yeah, not ideal. Yeah, I had some other things to do with the steering, the clutch slave cylinder, I think it's called, that went. Luckily, yeah, that wasn't the actual clutch, because that's about £1,500 without any labour. But yeah, the one of two times where the car broke down on me. I think I was giving a lift home in the morning, you know, one of those kind of things, and it broke down just on the bridge, just right near her house. And if I remember right, yeah, I didn't have a phone, so yeah, a bit of a nightmare. What else? And then there's another one that was just a yearly service and bits and bobs. That was 1,360. And then the one this year, another yearly service, that was 1,930. So yeah, it all adds up. Yeah, I think I've been fairly lucky. This is it's not bad for a Ferrari of this age. So there's still not a perfect car. There's still stuff to be done, but yeah, it's yeah. I'm just looking at the list now of little bits and pieces that I've got to do. This is the kind of treatment you'd expect being a Ferrari owner. Hello, is this Dorsia? Okay, I was looking for a table for two, saying around 9 PM. Really? That's great. See you then. Goodbye.
But you never set your name.
Well, they know me.